What's up, guys?
Lara and Joy here with the What's Up podcast. We are not alone in this episode. She is a member of the world's biggest organization against animal abuse and is here in the name of the youth organization Peta Zwei. Hello and welcome, Tessa. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
That sounds really nice. So we want to ask you to introduce yourself really quick for our listeners.
Hi everyone, I'm Tessa, I'm 20 years old and I'm currently in Lengerich, which is near Osnabrück, near Münster, like in between. And I was born and raised in Nuremberg in Bavaria and moved here 3 years ago for my apprenticeship. And I just started studying European Business Program in Münster. I love animals. My boyfriend and I are living with two adorable ridgeback ladies, and I do horseback riding since forever, since I'm a little kid. And yeah, that's what I do. That's who I am.
That sounds very nice. Let's cut to the chase. Can you please tell the listeners what exactly Peta Zwei is?
Well, as you already said, Peta Zwei is a campaign of the animal rights organization PETA, or PETA in German. It is addressed to especially young people from the age of 12 to 30 or something. For example, we are demonstrating on a regular basis in the center of Osnabrück and the other street teams in other cities. But we also meet up as a team and enjoy the restaurant or something. That's what we do.
And what inspired you to join Peta Zwei?
First of all, I joined PETA because I worked there for 1 year. I did my voluntary year in the German headquarters in Stuttgart. And there I started leading the street team in Stuttgart with a colleague of mine. And then after a while, I became leader of this team. So I went vegetarian and then vegan. And so they found Peter.
So you were always interested in animal and their abuse and how you can stop that, or did you just made something for voluntary and it came out that it fits to you?
No, I wasn't interested in like forever, but my sister went vegetarian when she was something, and I was always the meat-eating sister. So, and when I was 14, 15, she showed me videos of PETA where you can obviously see animal abuse. And that's when I questioning myself and my habits and what I eat. So I started researching and stuff, and that was when I knew I had to change something. And yeah, then I saw PETA offering a voluntary year, and when I finished school, that was what I wanted to do.
I can absolutely understand that because my sister also was vegetarian when she was like 12 or something. And my sister and I are the same age, and I was always like, how could you do that? I can't live without meat. And I think like 3 years later, she started to eat meat again. But now I'm the sister who's vegetarian and isn't eating meat, and I can totally live without meat, which I never thought I could. So I can understand how you came to that. So you said you started joining PETA when you made the voluntary year. How long have you been at PETA?
Well, I've worked there for 1 year, which was in 2017. So since then, so now it's 4 years.
Interesting. And what exactly is your assignment at PETA?
Well, I called myself leader before, which is only the half truth because we have very flat hierarchies. So our team of leaders, Kai and Rick, is more like organizers. We are planning the activities and the demonstrations. We're checking with the authorities because it has to be on a legal basis. And we order material from the headquarters, like costumes and stuff. So yeah, and demonstration itself, we are just activists like everyone else.
Okay, and you said you are leaders and you organize some street things. Did you personally achieved anything through your work there until now?
Well, the thing is, achievement itself, not because like we didn't rescue any animals or something, but I experienced very inspiring things through my work at PETA. And those are the achievement I know. It's if we can reach people and get them to question themselves and their habits, that is the real me, and I think for most people, because you never know, maybe you just formed a new vegetarian or vegan. This is a great achievement for animal rights and against animal abuse.
To how many street campaigns have you been to, like roughly?
Roughly, I think like 80 or something.
Oh,
Wow, that's
80 to 100.
crazy.
In the street team, we do or we want to do like 30 or 40 and activities a year, and I did some on my in my PETA time when I was in the office, and I went to fairs and exhibitions for PETA, so I count that as well.
And what was the best thing you made on the street?
I think best one and the biggest one was one of my very first ones. It was during my volunteer year, and it was this demonstration of the year of PETA. And it was in Frankfurt on the marketplace called Römer. I don't know if you know that. And there were some people from the office in Stuttgart and like 150 activists there. And a demonstration in underwear where we symbolized a human meat mountain and every fake blood, and the press really loved it. And therefore we did get into the Bild Zeitung, which was a huge thing for me. And yeah, I was on the very top, so it was quite cool.
Isn't it a little bit like you have to be brave to do that, to go out in underwear?
Well, yes, I think so. That not everyone would like to do it, but back then I didn't question it. Well, maybe I wouldn't do it now, but great. And I think you have to be brave to stand for the things you believe in and the things you want to change in the world. And yeah, that was the right thing to do back then. And from the view now, I would do it again, but maybe not now.
Okay, to come to another topic, I read an article on the homepage of Peta Zwei about hunting foxes and what the real reason for hunting them is. And in the article is written that killing foxes is justified with fixing the population, so that, for example, rabbits can live in the habitats because foxes are the enemies. The summary of the article is that hunters want to hunt animals like rabbits themselves and believe that foxes steal the rabbits so they can shoot them, and that they want to kill animals in order to kill even more animals. So come to my question, do you think hunting is wrong if hunters do it to fix the wild population, or do you even think that there is no fixing needed?
Well, the thing is, I don't like hunting, and I don't think it's necessary, because before the human was able to kill animals in such great amount, the nature did fix the problem. They had the wolf, the fox, and they just did it. And the thing is that I don't think that it's fixing the problem. So hunting is not fixing the problem, but it's fixing the symptoms, which are great populations of, for example, rabbits or wild pigs, and or the transmission of disease. That if the nature would be given the opportunity, I think it will all fall into places. Because like the wolf is back in Germany, and instead of shooting him because he killed a few sheep, we should let him do the work and get the old or sick game. Because the problem with hunting is that hunters do shoot the sick or old animals, but on this they protect the younger animals, which are capable of reproduction. And this is what makes our wildlife so overpopulated. So, as you said, shoot the rabbits themselves, or they have to shoot the rabbits themselves, because there are no foxes to the population of rabbits.
That's a very interesting thought. But what do you personally think is the worst kind of abuse that is done to animals?
Well, I don't think that there's a worst, I think any abuse is one too much. And I personally was always very committed to zoo animals and circus animals. But what happens in the food industry or in animal testing is just as bad. I really don't want to create a graduation here, because that would imply that some animals are more worth rescuing, saving, and protecting. And that is an opinion that is strictly against all that PETA stands for.
Mm-hmm.
We are fighting for all animal rights. And we say that every animal, no matter a dog or a pig or a giraffe or something, is worth saving and worth protecting, And no matter where the animal is abused, and it's not our right to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So you're saying every abuse against animals is a real bad abuse? I absolutely agree with this point. But I saw at PETA that you think also that zoo animals or keeping animals in a zoo is an abuse against them. So how do you think about that? Do you think we should just let them free and live in their wild nature habitat, or should we just stop buying new or getting new zoo animals, or what do you think about it?
Zoos is that, or one argument for zoos is that everyone says we have to protect the animals because they would just die or killed by hunters and stuff. And well, we have to make sure that there's a population, and we have to breed them. But that is not the point, because the animals that live in zoos are not like the animals that live in the wildlife,
Mm.
and many animals are already born in zoos. So it's not a solution to just let them free and run, because they would die anyway, because they don't know how to hunt. They know that there will come a human and give them. And a solution for me would be that no one will visit zoos anymore. That the animals that are there will get to sanctuaries and have a life, but there are more like national parks to save and protect those people, those animals. Sorry, I don't know why I'm confusing. But
the point is that we have to save and protect animals in wildlife and not in zoos in Germany or in the USA or wherever. And yeah, I would highly recommend everyone who is listening not to visit zoos anymore, please.
I totally understand that, but in the other hand, I think if you take little children to the zoo, which see the zoo animals and get to know them a little better, I think they have another view of the animals, so that they want to save them a little more than just like I saw it on the TV. So yeah, do you understand what I mean? So they get to know the animals a little bit better.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you have to say that what people in general really get from zoos is that it is okay to imprison animals and just work from their families and from their social structures and from their even their home country. And yeah, I don't know, like a lion who's living in Africa, where it is like 5 times our degree now. And that is just not okay, because we have so many ways to children to know animals, like on the internet and stuff, with VR stuff. Are that important for that? And I do see that many young families and with young children don't support zoos anymore because they got that, you know. I think it's just a traditional thing that's modern enough for our time, because if you go 100 years back in time, there were like black people exposed in zoos. Okay, so that everyone could look on the foreign cultures and foreign people, and the view of now, everyone would say that's not okay, that wasn't okay. And in my opinion, it is not okay with animals as well.
Yeah, I totally get that point.
What exactly are the main goals that Peta or you personally want to reach?
PETA, the name itself says it, whereas it says People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. And that is exactly what we are trying to achieve. That are not ours, or we don't have the right to experiment on animals, to eat animals, to wear animals for entertainment, or abuse them in any other way. And the goal is that that there is no difference between humans and animals in the way that we are allowed to. And well, the world that we were dreaming of, that no animals are eaten, no animals are worn or used for entertainment, like in zoos or circuses, that just everyone live and live in peace and doesn't have to have fear of being killed in an animal, you know, or the wrong sort of animal, like a pig, because we would never kill a dog. Well, at least I wouldn't do it.
So you told us before the podcast that you have a dog, and I think it's good to have dogs at home so you can give them the life that they deserve. But do you think it's possible to give rabbits, for example, the life that they deserve if you have them at home in a little cage or something?
My co-leader Kai has rabbits, and they live in a huge area, about 15 square meters or something like that. And the point is that
we cannot free all animals. I cannot let my dogs run around free, because like on the next street, they would crash with a car and that would be it. And that's not what I want. But we can try to make the life of our animals and our pets as well the most natural as it can be. So, for example, Kai can make them a huge area where they can live and are protected from like birds or foxes and stuff. And I can go on walks with my dogs so that they get their time to run and time to play with each other and feed them properly. And that's the least thing I can do. And maybe one day we will live in a world where any animal is safe and can live their life freely. And well, that would be great.
So you said that you are vegan, and do you think that it's a requirement to be vegan if you want to join PETA?
No, it's not a requirement. That's not what you can say, but most of us are vegan or at least vegetarian, which is great, because simply because you deal with the issues and research a lot and stuff. Most of us cannot agree with the certain, and one very important thing is you can fight as much as you want against animal abuse, but if you still finance the industries like the dairy industry or the meat industry with your money when you're grocery shopping, nothing will change, because it's an industry and they are only doing it because of the money. They're not doing it because they woke up one day and said, let's kill animals because it's such a great thing to do. So if you really want to change something and make a great amount of effort, it's the best thing you can do and the easiest, because getting out on the streets in rain and in snow and in cold weather and position yourself and discussing stuff is more challenging than not eating meat or not eating dairy products.
Yeah, so you also already answered, what can we personally do to get active against animal abuse? So you said we can eat no meat or less meat at least. Is there another thing that we can do to get active?
Well, if you have time and fun, you can join a street team. We have street teams in every largest city in Germany. I think it's about 40 or something. And you can join them and join demonstrations and activities. Or another very easy way to do that is just sharing Peta Zwei's posts on Instagram or Facebook, because that's how we gain awareness, that's how you spread the word. And I think hitting the share button is, the most easiest thing you can do.
I think that is what we are going to do with our podcast Instagram site. We are going to share you and share your story. Also with this podcast, we want to make it a little bit more public, because we are also interested in saving animals and making their lives better.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought it would be a great opportunity to meet you while our school project. Yeah, that was nearly all of our questions, but there's one question that we ask everybody who's joining our podcast, and the question is, what are you going to do on next Saturday?
Well, probably I will learn for my studies in the morning, and then I think I'm going for a walk with my dogs and my boyfriend, and then maybe I will visit my sister. She is living in Münster as well. Maybe we are cooking together, or anyway, have a nice evening. That's what I do on weekends, like every day, every weekend in Corona times.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, Tessa, for joining us. We really enjoyed talking to you, and we wish you and your organization the very best of luck. And yeah, have a nice day. See you
Next time.